What is good? Welcome back to another RC video. Today we're going to be answering some questions that you guys asked down in the comments on this lovely Sunday morning. So you can just kick back, watch the video, have a coffee, maybe a donut. You never know. But I get a lot of people liking these kind of videos, my Q&As. Today it's going to be all questions. I usually throw some comments in there. I usually respond to some comments. But yeah, we're going to do all questions today. I did write them down on paper. Kind of looked on the computer. I got my phone too in case I need it. So, also, I put two of my favorite drag cars up here on the table for you guys to look at while I'm blabbing. My Traxxas Mustang 5.0 drag car and my Losi IROC Z Camaro drag car. Love both of these. I am a third generation guy, so anything third generation, Mustang, Camaro, Trans Am, whatever, I love it. Big fan of the Fox body. If you guys look at my older videos, if you want to go check out my older videos, on my real cars I used to have, well, just some of them I used to have. Never put all of my cars on this channel, just some of them. I had a lot more. So but yeah, you guys, enough blabbing. Let's get to the questions. So first question, this guy asked me, how much should I sell my Traxxas X-Max 8S without the motor? Ooh. All right, so if you guys know, looking in the used market, these cars have big price gaps. Like on an X-Max and an XRT, for example, they run anywhere from, I've seen them $400, but in really bad condition, all the way up to $1,200 people are wanting for some of these used RC cars. So X-Maxes, they usually go for around $500 to $1,000, depending on condition and what you get with it, right? So this guy's asking me, I don't even know the condition of his car. So I'm going to assume, let's say the gentleman that asked this question, he's got an X-Max, really nice, clean, everything is with it but the motor. I don't know if he's adding stuff to it. I don't know if he's including battery, charger, whatever. Let's just say it's a truck without the motor, but it's really clean, nice condition. I would say minimum wear. You could probably get between $600 or $700 for that truck without the motor, but it has to be really nice and clean and minimum wear on it. So that's about what I'm thinking. If your truck's in bad shape, is beat up and dirty, you're not going to get that. You might get without the motor $400 to $500, something like that. That's just a guess. But from what I'm seeing in the market right now, that's what I'm kind of thinking. So that's the best I can answer that question. All right, second question. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Well, I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. That's where I was born. So, I do have a lot of people ask me, what's my name? Where do I live? This or that. I really don't put out my personal information. If you find out, you find out. But yeah, I'm originally from Arizona and proud of it. So that's why I carry this scorpion tattoo on my arm. That reminds me of where I was born and I grew up. So, all right, you guys. Next question. This guy asks, Traxxas Mini XRT or Traxxas Rustler 4x4 VXL. So he's asking me which one I would probably buy. Man, that Mini XRT is pretty nice. The Rustler 4-wheel drive VXL is a really good car for the money. Now, I think he's asking me this because of price. The Mini XRT and the Rustler 4-wheel drive VXL are two totally different cars. One's around a 16 scale, the other one's a 10 scale, and the complete different car, right? I think he's asking me that because of the price. In my opinion, if you're talking price-wise, which one I would pick, I would go with the Rustler 4x4 VXL, you guys. I think that car is a little bit better for the money. It's bigger, and I believe it's a little more built. I think it's built a little better. That's all I can say. But I love the Mini XRT, don't get me wrong. All right, next question. When is the hobby shop opening? So this guy is, I think he was just chuckling about the shop in here, it looking like a hobby shop. It kind of does in here. But yeah, I would never open a hobby shop on my own property. That's just, you just don't want to do that. I've thought about opening one when I first moved around this area. I thought about opening one in town, but I never did. I just didn't want to do it. Next question. Do you own any nitros? Man, I think I might have answered this before. This is a different comment. No, I don't. I do not have any nitros. I think the only one I have is that dirt clay oval track car over there. I think that's the only nitro I have in the entire shop in here. But yeah, you know, you guys, nitros, I think nitros are really, really cool. It's just you have to have patience with them. And I just don't have the patience with them because you got to tune them, you got to build them, you know, put them together just right, make sure everything's good, everything is adjusted properly, tuned, all that stuff. And I really don't like the smell of nitro, to be honest with you. So, yeah. All right, next question. Is there a vehicle / RC you take out often? Ooh. The RC car that I take out often, when I do take out a car, my go-to is a Traxxas X-Max. I mean, that's one I would probably take out more often than any RC in here. So that's that answers that question. Just love the truck, you guys. They're fun. You can beat a crap out of them, and they're just cheap to fix. So, all right, next question. What kind of adjustable tables / benches are they? Brand / model ? So the guy asked me about these tables here. These benches, they're work tables. They're adjustable work tables. I picked these up on Amazon for around $200 a piece. Really nice, love them. They got plug-ins on the sides. And I think the brand is Yitahome or something like that. Yitahome. That's the brand. Actually, there is the same table. I've seen these tables for sale at different places with different names on them, but it's the same table. These, I do recommend these. So I paid around $400 for both of these. So really nice. I do like them so far. They're doing what I want them to do. All right, next one. Where do you get your shelving? Okay, it seems like a lot of people are interested in this shop. I do get a lot of questions about the shop, what I'm using in here, what's in here, the flooring, lighting. I get a lot of questions about the RC shop. So the shelves I use, I get them from Lowe's. They're the Craftsman shelves from Lowe's. You get the yellow ones, which they're a little skinnier, but they're longer. And then you get the red ones, which are a little shorter, but they're wider. So I have a combination of both in here. So that answers that. Next question. Do you have an online store where we can buy parts from you? I do have an eBay store, you guys. It'll be down in the description below. I haven't posted really anything new on my eBay store, but there is some stuff posted. So if you want to go down to my eBay store, there's a link down below in the description to my eBay. I will be posting new stuff for sale on there soon. So, all right, let's go to the next question. Okay, this guy says, are crawlers a lot less money? No, they are not. Crawlers can be just as expensive as any other kind of RC. You guys, I mean, there's guys, I have a couple, well actually I have multiple crawlers in here. My SCX6s, for one, they're expensive. They're like $1,100 just for one of those crawlers because they're big. And I have a ton of upgrades in those cars, and there's a lot of money in them. So crawlers are not less money, even if you buy them new. For example, the TRX4, Traxxas TRX4, those are $500. So that's not a cheap crawler. So crawlers are not cheap. They're just as expensive as any other kind of RC, in my opinion. And then people just customize the crap out of those things, and the money just piles up on things. Got a big investment in one car, in one RC crawler. It's crazy. All right, next question. This is kind of a question / comment. You should get the LMT 2.0. I see the King Sling in the background. I do have a King Sling over here and a low C LMT, but it's a 1.0. It's the son of a digger. He's telling me I should get the LMT 2.0. Actually, I got my eye on the Grave Digger 2.0, so I'm hoping to get one of those, a new one. Just waiting a little bit longer before I kind of snag one of those new LMT 2.0s, which will be the Grave Digger because I have the Son of a Digger 1.0. So let's do one more question, you guys. This one is actually a good question, believe it or not. What's the furthest you traveled for an RC car or deal? So this guy's asking, what is the furthest I've drove to buy an RC car and make a RC car deal? Well, I went to Jacksonville. That was 5 hours one way. So we're talking 10 hours round trip, you guys, just to go buy one car. And that one was one of my low C5Ts. So, and I got a really good deal on it. So that's why I drove 10 hours round trip for that car. There was another time, I recently just went, probably 5-6 weeks ago, I went to Indiana, which was already planned. So I don't know if you want to really count this drive because I was already going. But I actually made a deal before I left the house to drive 12 hours one way to buy that low C LMT 1.0, that son of a digger. So I did a trade deal on that, and I drove 24 hours round trip, even though I was already going on that trip. But I drove there to make a deal on an RC. So it counts, but it doesn't because I was already going anyway. I just happened to make a deal before I left my house. But me actually going online, buying an RC and driving without even having any kind of plans ahead of time, it was 10 hours round trip. So it was 5 hours one way to Jacksonville, Florida. Maybe a little over that to buy my low C5T, one of my low C5Ts. I got two of them. But yeah, you guys, that's it. This video is probably long enough. You guys get sick of me blabbing. But hey, you like the content, like, share, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell for more. We'll see you on the next one.